Who kidnapped baby Daisy? Sasha's desperate search intensifies in General Hospital. Hello everyone. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, thank you. General Hospital sees somebody snatched. Baby Daisy Gilmore Corinthos, Levi Clark Coughlin, and Sasha Gilmore, Sophia Matson, are in an absolute panic this week. So, this week, after all those strange occurrences surrounding Sasha's daughter since birth, things take a turn for the worst. Somebody has been watching Daisy and Sasha from outside the house, and that person has been inside the house as well. If you saw the episode, you know that right after Sasha gave birth, they brought in the wrong baby at General Hospital. She knew immediately it wasn't her little girl Daisy. And then once Sasha brought her baby home to the Q mansion, things kept going off the rails. One night after she put Daisy down in her crib, Sasha came back later and saw her little girl's onesie was different, and Daisy was facing the other direction. I mean, no newborn can wiggle itself around like that. Plus, the mobile above the crib was turned on. And then on a recent episode, we watched as Sasha and Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, put Daisy down to sleep in her crib, and everything was great. But then Sasha heard the baby crying on the monitor and went up to get her. But she was completely horror-struck to see that Daisy was gone. So Sasha frantically runs to Michael and tells him somebody took our daughter. There are several suspects that might have taken baby Daisy. And one of the prime suspects is the General Hospital writers if they are trying to pull a bait and switch to make that promo more dramatic. So just first off, we have to consider maybe Sasha is wrong and Daisy hasn't been taken by somebody nefarious. Maybe Tracy Quartermaine, Jane Elliott, or, somebody else in the house. Maybe Ned Quartermaine, Wally Kurth. Somebody in the Q family heard Daisy crying, went and picked her up, and took her to another room just to rock her back to sleep or walk her around. You know how it is with babies. They like when you walk them around. So, there's a chance that Sasha could be panicking Michael for no reason. And this was just hanky editing done for the promo. We've seen them do it before. So, Daisy could be fine and still in the main mansion of the quarter. But given that the stalker has been watching Sasha and Daisy, it's entirely possible somebody really did kidnap Daisy. But I just have to call into question whether it really happens. We're going to assume it really happens. And then we're going to talk about the possible suspects that could have taken Sasha's baby for one reason or another. So first, obviously, we have to talk about Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen. She is very distraught over losing custody of Wiley Quartermaine Corinthos, Viren Weaver, and Amelia Grace Corinthos. Also, she even had a mini nervous breakdown in the courtroom. She had to be admitted to General Hospital. And the longer Willow goes without access to her kids, the harder it is for her. She's falling apart. Willow even violated a court order and staged a run-in with Michael and Wiley at the Metro Court Pool. But Michael took Wiley, and he left. And it looks like later this week, Drew Kane Quartermaine, Cameron Matheson, warns her against this type of stunt based on some other General Hospital spoilers. So, we all know Willow is really struggling and maybe she had some sort of temporary insanity. Maybe she snaps and she snatches baby Daisy, maybe to partly punish Sasha for her one-night stand with Michael. And, Willow was at the hospital the day the baby was swapped. And she did have access to things there as a nurse. So she is a plausible suspect. So, maybe Willow just loses it, takes baby Daisy. Somehow she's deluded and thinks the little girl is hers and brings her home. That would be pretty awful. It would probably send Willow to Shady Brook. But at least Daisy would be safe in her hands. We know that. The next person to talk about, of course, is Jen's Sidwell, Carlo Rota. He might take Michael's baby, not to hurt Daisy or Sasha but to freak out and destabilize Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard. Plus, Sidwell blames Sonny for Natalia Rogers Ramirez, Eva LaRue, overdose death. They think it's very suspicious. So this could be some sort of threat. And it could be that Sidwell, takes Daisy, and then he has her dropped back off safely just to prove that no one is safe from him if Sonny doesn't sell him the peers. Now, we know Sidwell doesn't want to actually hurt any of Sonny's kids. I would assume that extends to grandkids as well because if you remember, Sidwell raged at the arsonist. He was upset that Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Monsey, was almost hurt. But Sidwell does want to send a message to Sonny. He just burned Charlie's pub. And if he snatches Daisy too, Sidwell would push Sonny over the edge. Sidwell might even be deliberately provoking Sonny because if the mobster lashes out at Sidwell and brings violence out to the streets, the referendum vote will likely go against him. And that means Sonny still loses even if Sidwell doesn't get to buy the peers from him. Alright, the third person to talk about that we have to consider is the possibility that it's kind of a benevolent kidnapping done to protect baby Daisy. Maybe it is Sasha's parents, Robert Scorpio, Tristan Rogers, and or Holly Sutton, Emma Sams, that took the kid. It could be that Daisy's grandparents are worried about her safety. And of course, Robert and Holly would never hurt their granddaughter, and they wouldn't want to hurt Sasha. However, I could see them taking drastic measures to protect Daisy from Sonny and his dangerous mob lifestyle. Because if you remember, Robert despises Sonny and always has. So, this might be a move to convince Sasha to leave town with Daisy and go live with Robert and Holly in Europe with a kid. Plus, that would actually align perfectly with some rumors swirling around that Sophia Matson is supposedly leaving General Hospital and Sasha leaves Port Charles for good, or at least for a good long while. Alright. Another option to consider that would be super twisted is if it's Willow's twin sister, Psycho Nellie Benson, Chloe Lanier. She is supposed to be dead. She supposedly died 5 years ago, but we never saw her body. I think Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, got a phone call saying her body turned up down the river, but that could have been fake because Shiloh Archer, Kobe Ryan McLaughlin, her husband, dead husband, had law enforcement minions working for him. Nellie is a great she-villain, so if she were still alive, that would be kind of incredible. Willow's twin could be lurking, waiting for the right moment to get revenge on Michael and his family. If you remember, Nellie gave their son Wiley to Brad Cooper, Perry Shen, to pass off as his and Lucas Jones, Van Hansis, baby to keep him away from Michael. So, if Nellie turned up alive, yeah, I could see her snatching Daisy to punish him and to punish Sasha because, if you remember, Valentine Cassadine, James Patrick Stewart, hired Sasha to pretend to be Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watrous' daughter. So, yeah, one of her real daughters like Nellie might want payback. Last, but by no means least, we got to bring up Sasha's grimy, scheming mother-in-law, greedy Gladys Corbin, Bonnie Burrows. So, Gladys could be back and wants to hurt Sasha for moving on with another man and having another baby after little Liam died. Gladys may also want to punish Sonny for running her out of Port Charles, even though that was all Gladys' fault because she stole all that money from Sasha and had her committed to Ferncliff, and Sasha was nearly killed in there. Gladys is a real jerk, and I could see that she might steal Daisy to replace both the son and grandson she lost and to punish Sonny. And you know, Gladys seems like a real long shot because she knows Sonny would probably kill her if he saw her again. But I had to mention her because of how close she was to Sasha at one point. So, who do you think took baby Daisy? Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our General Hospital Update news channel and stay with us.